match number 2. Going to be happening here shortly. And we'll find out exactly who is playing. I know Team 1 is the same. I think we have a few new people, but I'll take a look as soon as the match starts. I was eating some cucumber and onions, so... In fact, I still am, so I might mute it from time to time. But I will try to report on everything that I see as much as possible. Alright, here we go. Looks like bottom left it's going to be Vince and Sharpflex. Sharpflex was on Team 2 last time with Millionaire. It looks like they have switched. So Team 2 is going to be Fluffy and Millionaire. Fluffy was with Hybrid, who is now on Team 4. Team 3 we have Yuki and Pookie. Pookie is new. And for bottom right, it'll be Boom Bap and Hybrid. Boom Bap is also new. So, of course, this is just the very beginning of the game. There's going to be pretty much nothing going on except fighting for towers. We will find out who will get which tower first. Actually, there is going to be some engagement right now from Pookie and the Hybrid. There is a scan that goes down. Is he going to push forward with his units? He might. He does have a superior army. He is getting a little bit of reinforcements. He just needs better positioning, and I think he lost. I think he lost the position. So Hybrid might be able to get this tower. It looks like Sharpflex gained control of his tower, and there's not even a contention for left side tower, so that's fine. And right side it'll be Yuki, but Fluffy is coming up from the bottom to try to pick off some of those units. It looks like Vince was actually trying to make something happen while Sharpflex is fighting Boom Bap, and Boom Bap getting surrounded, not retreating. And that's going to be some early feed. Let's take a look. Yes, 503 to 408. So a little bit of feed for bottom left. That's going to be good for Team 1. And again, with so few units, it looks like Boom Bap does need to be careful. Vince is going in. He's trying to get the surround on the Hybrid. And he's got to be careful because Pookie could come and flank him from the side. It looks like no, he does retreat. And Vince says, I don't give a shit. I'm going in. Meanwhile, Sharpflex is protecting from any backside attack. Millionaire is actually kind of in a bad spot. The positioning is super superior for Sharpflex. Meanwhile, Yuki gaining top control of the center position. And that's going to be great for Team 3. Team 2 struggling for position here. Millionaire trying to make something happen, but I think he overextended himself, losing too much of his army there. He does have some reinforcement from Fluffy, but look at this huge reinforcement from Pookie. It depends on who's going to get the superior position, and Team 3 has the superior position. They need to get out of there. And they do. It looks like Fluffy has some Reapers trying to pick off some units, and this is a much better position. But, oh no, Vince coming in with the drop, and oh, his entire army, save for those Reapers, are going to go down. Meanwhile, Boom Bap might try to play for mid-position or possibly fight for this tower control. It looks like they are going to lose it. Pookie will have right side control for now. Excuse me, guys. It has been a while since I've casted, so I got to make sure that my voice doesn't crap out on you guys. There is going to be a small engagement. Hybrid does need to retreat a little bit. Sharpflex does have the high ground. Are we going to see a save come out? It can reach this area. It looks like he chooses not to. And Boom Bap did fight for top position. It looks like Pookie trying to come in. He does get the surround on Fluffy's units. He is going to hold it, but look, Hybrid is coming, and I think he's going to get it. Because meanwhile, Millionaire fighting from the right side, or I'm sorry, from the left side. And it looks like, wow, Hybrid had the position. He gives it up. He was afraid of the surround from Vince, and Vince really destroying his army there with that drop. That was a superior drop. Meanwhile, there was a force field, and I'm not quite sure what that came from. Was that a hero? Yes, he does. He has a High Templar. And unable to get those Reapers. They do have one upgrade. Millionaire with 0 so far. And it looks like one upgrade for the Marauders. And the Medivac could be in trouble. It is in a terrible position right now. Who is going to get it? Is it going to be Vince? Is it going to be Fluffy? It looks like Vince does pick up that Medibabe. Or I don't think they call it Medibabes. I think they call it Medivacs. It looks like Boomback actually deciding to go for Stalkers here. Let's just take a look at the unit production. It looks like Marauders possibly into Marauders. I think for Sharpflex, I think he was the one that had the... He does have concussion shells. So he might choose to upgrade into Marauders. Looks like Spectres. Spectres and more Spectres. Alright, good. So the only person that has really any melee is going to be Vince here. And so far it's worked out really well for him. There is going to be a storm down on Hybrid, and I think Team 4 is actually suffering a little bit. Getting hit by 2 fronts. And we're going to look at the score here in just a second. Just want to make sure there's nothing crazy happening. Nope, there is a whole lot of crazy going on. There's a huge drop going down for Vincent. He is going to take control, but he's getting attacked from 3 different sides. He is going to need to back up for now. Oh, and he has to be so careful of these Ravens. He could get hit at any moment with a Seeker Missile. And, of course, the Reaper's picking up just a little bit of his units there. And another big drop coming down from Sharpflex. He is going to back out. He's got to be careful of that Savior. Alright, now there's a lull in the points. Let's take a look and see if I can confirm.
Your forces are under attack.
And yep, it looks like bottom right is a little low on the scoreboard. He did just use a Savior, and I'm sorry I missed it, but I wanted to check out the scoreboard. And it looks like Sharpflex is currently in the lead with 2,000. Not far behind is Fluffy. He's not far behind at all. So total points combined, it looks like Team 3, I think, is in the lead, followed by Team 1.
Are under attack.
Then Team 2, and in last place, Team 4. I think Yuki with that High Templar is going to be absolutely dangerous early. Pookie fighting for that tower vision. He is going to retain it. And Millionaire might be overextending himself. He is trying to look for an opening with that Raven. A few auto turrets up top is excellent position. But, oh no, look, Vince is coming in from the bottom. He is going to be able to take out some of those turrets. He does have to be careful about getting surrounded by both Pookie and Millionaire. And we could see a Seeker Missile, double Seeker Missile, I think. No, it was just the auto turrets. And a big drop from Pookie. He will again retain the vision for right side. Meanwhile, bottom right, not really doing much. He just upgraded to Stalker Lancer. I think he was biding his time to make sure that he could get all these Stalkers upgraded. And actually, let's take a look just real quick. Whoa, we got Roaches coming out for Fluffy. That's going to be interesting. They already have 2 attack upgrades. I'm not quite sure about the hit points. No upgrades yet for the Marauder. And still no upgrades left, I don't think. Nope, they're still Zergling, so we're not quite sure what upgrades they're going to come out with yet. There is a Spectre right here. Is he going to take it out? Oh my gosh, he almost had it. And he let it go. That's really surprising that he just let it go. Let's see what top right units have. There is still Spectres coming out, and of course, Marauders. No upgrades. It looks like the only people who've upgraded is top left. And oh, there's a big drop coming out from Vince. Is it going to be enough to get that Roach Warren? There's tons of roaches here. And no, he did pick up a little bit of his Marines, but I don't think that's going to be a problem for Fluffy because he's investing. Sorry about that. I just saw Zerg and I said infesting. He is investing pretty heavily into his mercenaries so far. It's been a minute since I've done this. Whoa! Huge Seeker Missile right there, taking out the Medivac. And Sharpflex coming in. He is going to take out all of Millionaire's units. I believe... Yes, he does. There is a scan just to make sure that Spectre is gone. And look at this. There is a little bit of action coming from Yuki. And he did kill something. I didn't see exactly what it was, but he did kill something. It could have been one of Millionaire's Spectres. And whoa, there's a huge attack coming from these crawlers now. They have been upgraded to crawlers, making them very dangerous, very deadly. And Pookie losing quite a bit of his units there. Yuki might be in a bad position here, as Hybrid, I think, has superior positioning. But I don't think Yuki even cares. He's going in and he's going to lose all of his army if he's not careful. There was a small pickup there, and it looks like Pookie now reinforcing. But Boom Bap, that's just too good of a position for bottom right. They do need to be careful. There was another drop. It looks like on top left, they're losing a lot of units. But Fluffy still has a lot of his mercs left. And let's see, they are still Spectres. He does have 5 attack for them. What is he planning on doing? I don't think this is an upgraded unit. No, it's not. I don't think. I think the Phantom is the upgraded version. I'm not quite sure. I'm not a super experienced EU player, so I can't confirm. Spectre could be one of the upgrades, so I'm just gonna guess. Sorry. I'll touch up on my knowledge as time goes. I'm just here to spectate on the action I see. So a little bit of back and forth. From top right, it looks like that High Templar may have been revived. Is that what happened? Because he has 0 kills so far. What's up, Mr. Stabby? Welcome to the stream. Boonbap defending. Wow, look at that. He defended an attack on his Cybernetics Core. And look at all the Lancers he has there. Only at 1 attack, though. There is a huge drop coming down from Pookie. And he was able to get it. That is crazy that he was able to snipe it this early. And that's going to be a huge money grab for top right. That is going to be fantastic. Let's take a look at the points real quick. Sure enough, Pookie is at 3,100. But he is not in the lead, as Fluffy, with those crazy crawlers, is going to be in the lead currently. And there is going to finally be a back and forth. And whoa, the big blinking from Boombap. Is this going to be enough? These Marauders are not upgraded. And yes, they do go down. It looks like Vince trying to reinforce. But all he has to do is blink back up on this plateau. And I think he'll be okay. Oh, and he does lose just a little bit of his army right there, getting trapped. And it looked like Vince was trying to make a drop. And oh no, the Medi could get attacked. Nope, it was not, and it looks like Flex coming in from the side. And wow, look at this split. The split attack going on from these two. Even the split counter from the hybrid trying to clear up some of Sharpflex's units, and Boom Bap, I think with the smart Blinken, is going to finish up Sharpflex's units. Meanwhile, there is a little bit of back and forth going on for the Xel'Naga Tower, with Fluffy creeping. What is going to happen? He wants blood. I know he does, because he is just creeping. He might even decide to come in here, but he has to be so careful. There are saviors here. Their storm goes down. It looks like he did damage, but he didn't quite destroy it. And oh no, there's two Seekers that go down, but Pookie somehow, miraculously, able to survive. That was crazy. I'm actually really surprised that that did not kill that Medivac. Millionaire is still putting on the pressure. Yuki's units are so low. He does have 1,200 minerals. What is he planning on doing? Let's take a look at the scoreboard real quick. The points are so even. Wow, this is really quite unexpected. I would say that Team 4 is still behind. As you can see, Hybrid is a little bit far behind, but Team 2 and Team 3 are fighting it out, trying to vie for dominance, and I'm not sure who will win the battle. Meanwhile, it looks like bottom right still getting pressured from bottom left, and I actually think that this is going to help out bottom right a whole hell of a lot more than top left. And oh, look at this. A save does come out, and I think that was an unnecessary save. I think he should have saved it. He should have saved the save. Why didn't he just save the save, guys? What was he thinking? I know his army was low, but I think he would have been able to hold it off. But this constant pressure coming from bottom left is really starting to put a strain on the hybrid, who's losing a ton of forces. They might even be forced to use a save here, and they're out of saves, guys. That is it. He's going to have to go into the middle and buy a save, but if the pressure continues from bottom left, or even if top right or top left catches wind of what's going on, they could go in and easily get the kill. But look at all these crawlers. Holy shit, that is so many crawlers from Fluffy. He needs to be careful that if he goes into the base, that he doesn't get killed. And oh no, it looks like Fluffy coming in bottom right. He could get saved though. He's got to be so careful. But oh no, bottom right doesn't have any saves. Maybe Fluffy knows that, and he's going in for the kill. And if that's the case, Fluffy is going to win this. He is going to easily be able to dominate. But oh no, Vince coming in from the side. Oh, even Sharpflex, and now Fluffy is in a terrible position. He could possibly lose his entire army unless he has a recall, and he says, screw it, I'm going to go after the Cybernetics Core. He does get it, and the recall. That was a brilliant play by Fluffy. Fantastic. What's up, Nova? Welcome to the stream. And bottom right is in so much trouble. They have to buy saves. They have to get something. They need a tower. They need some defenses. This is so bad. They're just going to keep getting dominated from Fluffy here. And from top left. Oh my gosh. Okay, bottom left, Team 1 is coming in from the plateau. He's putting on pressure. If Boom Bap is not careful, he is chronoing out those mercenaries, but is it going to be enough? I mean, his army is only at 350, and is that going to be enough to keep back both of these teams? He has Team 2 and Team 1 coming in. They could be in huge trouble. There is another drop. Is he going to target that Cybernetics Core? Yes, he does finally target it, but is it going to be enough? I'm not sure. 5, 4, 3, 2... Oh, and he does get it, but look at Fluffy. Look at Fluffy just waiting to pounce. There is a scan, though. Ooh, that was an amazing scan. That was the perfect scan from Hybrid. Does he have enough for another scan? No, he doesn't. His partner does, though, and we'll see what he decides to do. He does have a tower, though. His tower could do a scan. And look at this! Pookie is now coming in to do damage. And now he has all 4 teams. Everybody is ganging up on bottom right. And look at this. They could be sniping the armory. I haven't even moved my camera from the bottom right position because everybody is saying, fuck it, we're going to go in and we're going to dominate Team 4. And that's exactly what's happening. A missile turret does go down to hopefully push back some of the medivacs. A nice blink from Boom Bap. And wow, let's just take a look at the scores real quick. With all of the defending that they've been doing, Boom Bap has caught up, guys. But listen, they are out of saves. What are they going to do? Unless he goes into the center and actually buys a few more saves, they could just keep getting pummeled and pummeled. But if they are able to defend, and they've done it spectacularly so far, they will be in the lead. Now, keep in mind, he has lost the cybernetic score, so he doesn't quite have a complete lead on the points. He did have to invest a little bit there. So he's not in the lead quite yet. They're really just struggling to survive. And oh no, here comes a late savior from Millionaire. That was so late. So not worth it. That could have been a really big waste. Unfortunately, he was not able to save that that Roach Horn. So now there's no more crawlers coming out. Does he even have enough? Well, the 10 minutes just passed, so he does have enough now to rebuild it. It looks like he did have enough to rebuild it because he's almost done. A couple of scans going down. Pookie might be looking to pick off this armory, but Hybrid is now finally starting to get some units here. He has almost half of his army supply. It looks like Boom Bap does too. So I think they're going to be in the clear for now. In fact, I'm pretty sure Team 1 knows it because they're going in and now they're trying to fight Team 3. Meanwhile, look at this. Fluffy is just going crazy with these crawlers. Who is he going to target? He could possibly wait right in here because of the drops that come from Sharp Flex. That would be really easy to pick off these units. He could possibly crawl in here undetected, wait for drops like this, and just obliterate the entire army and do a recall. We'll see if he decides to do that. He may not quite know about it. We'll see if he does like a scan. If he does a scan and he does see that the army is fighting there, he could possibly go in and try to do some damage because bottom right still doesn't have any saves. Bottom left has 2 saves, but if he's smart about it and he kind of stays on this right side a little bit, I think he's going to be okay. He doesn't have to worry about getting saviored. It's all just going to come down on how strong his units are, and I don't actually see any attack value for them yet, so as soon as he has one that pops out... Wait a minute. There we go. He does have 5 attack, a little bit of hit points. He may want to get just a tiny bit more armor. Not much, but just a tiny bit. Oh, and look at that. He does pick off the Medi. They are able to attack air, guys, and he was able to get the Medivac. And look at this. He's going after the High Templar. Meanwhile, his army is pushing through. But here comes the save, and did he get out in time? Wow, unbelievable. He was able to get out. There was a Dark Templar. He could have used Void, but unfortunately he didn't. And if he would have used a Void right there, he would have got that whole army. There is a small drop coming down from Vince, and Fluffy saw it. And here comes Fluffy, and I think Vince is just going to be completely destroyed here. Boom Bap also destroyed here. Meanwhile, there is some back and forth going on, and oh no, Pookie's in so much trouble. Look at that army. It just completely melted. We are going to see a storm come down. It is not going to do enough damage. None of them were killed. That's incredible. And of course, the crawlers just healing up hit points and getting ready to do it again. Nice feedback. I think that's what the ability is called. On the Ghost, it does drain all of his energy, which is fantastic. And look at the save! Wow! Over half of that army. That was a huge, huge save there. Wow, absolutely incredible. That just took out so many of his units. And as you can see, Fluffy was like, what the fuck? And I don't blame him. He may have thought that they were out of saviors, but sure enough, it looks like Pookie still has one. And look at the army for bottom left. Let's take a look at the points real quick. Look at Boom Bap. He's doing pretty good, but the Hydroid is, again, lagging behind. It's going to be tough for him. He's been getting pounded pretty hard by Pookie. We'll see if that pressure continues. Meanwhile, it looks like Sharpflex doing really well for himself. Vince, not so much. And I think the problem might have been because he still... well, he did finally transition to Crackling, but I think it was a little bit late. So he wasn't quite able to capitalize on any of his melee. But he does have Cracklings, which in US Marine Arena, that's pretty good against Goliath. That could be what he's planning on doing. Since the Hybrid is so far behind, I think that's exactly what they're planning on doing. And whoa, look at the range from Fluffy taking out the Medivac. Meanwhile, there's a drop going down here. Boom Bap, I think, is feeding a little bit. Off of Sharpflex. Sharpflex is in the lead, but with the superior position by Boom Bap, I think he's just going to take out all of Sharpflex's units here. And yes, he does. So that might not have been the best move for Sharpflex. But, you know, the points don't lie. He is up to 9,000 to 8,000. So I think these little skirmishes are actually doing quite well for Team 1, and if they can continue doing that, they'll have a dominating position once the hour marker comes up and we go into sudden death. Meanwhile, there is a huge drop from the Hybrid, but wow, it was easily cleaned up by Sharpflex because his units are so low. Honestly, that was just pure feed. That was just feed. And that's going to be fantastic for Team 1. Meanwhile, there is a blink. He's not blinking all of his units in, though. He's only blinking in just a few at a time. Unable to pick off that barracks. And is he going to blink down? Nope, he does not. He needs to blink out of there, really. Sharpflex is going to have a superior position. Even better position now. But Boom Bap will be able to pick off a little bit from Sharpflex. This is, or I'm sorry, from Vince. This is actually not a very good position for Vince. He's going to be losing a lot of his army. And look at the reinforcements that are just waiting to capitalize on this. And this could be terrible. The Hybrid, I think, should have just dropped directly down on this army because he overstimmed. He overstimmed like crazy. And that would have been a huge pickup for the Hybrid. Unfortunately, did not pick that up, and I'm sorry, guys, I didn't see what happened top, but somebody lost something, and I think it might have been Millionaire. I think he has some ghosts. Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think he lost some ghosts. Alright, so 10 minutes has passed, which means we're at the 40-minute marker. There's only 20 minutes left until sudden death, and there is an Archon out on the field with 4 attack. Look at the shields and the hit points. This could be pretty scary for Team 2, and there is going to be a huge fight. I think Fluffy has a better position here, and yeah, I think Fluffy really banked on that. That was not a good position for Yuki. Pookie will retain middle, but at what cost? Because Yuki just lost everything. Meanwhile, there is a drop going down from the Hybrid, and a unnecessary savior. He did lose that facility, but I think the cost of losing that savior plus the facility, I think that's just going to be too much. Too much of a waste there. Pookie coming in, trying to do damage on the Hybrid. Is he going to be able to pick it off? Yes, he does. And that's going to be so good for Pookie and so bad for a Hybrid. Meanwhile, there is a drop going top left. Is Fluffy in position to defend? It looks like he is. And this is a great position for Fluffy. Sharpflex is going to lose all of those units if he's not careful. And Fluffy pushing the assault. Yes, look, that is fantastic for him. Meanwhile, there is a Phoenix here. Is he going to see Vince's Medibabe? He does, and he picks off. He's going to lose those units if he's not careful. Look at the damn... Oh my gosh, look at the Banelings. He was planning on Baneling dropping. Oh. So top left knows exactly what's going on now. And is he going to get another Medibabe? Or I guess it's just called a Medivac. Yes, he does. But top left has got to know. They've got to know exactly what's going on. So we'll see how they decide to respond to it. It looks like Sharpflex still trying to press the advantage. There are some oracles feeding a little bit on these units. As long as he can keep the oracles alive, he will gain an advantage in that fight. And sure enough, he did. Meanwhile, Pookie pushing in. And this might actually be really good for them. And oh, here comes the drop. And you know what? I think Vince messed up. And I know exactly why he messed up. He had Zerglings in with those Banelings, and they blocked the Banelings. So, unfortunately, unable to really capitalize on that drop there. He shouldn't have brought any Banelings in his Medivac. Because the Zerglings, unfortunately, blocked him. And that's exactly what happened. Those Banelings were picked off quite easily, in fact. And this could be a really bad position for Fluffy. If he decides to do it again, he needs to make sure he has only Banelings. And if he wants to distract the army, he can send those Zerglings just straight through the middle and then drop those Banelings. Because, that's going to be a good drop if he does it right. Is it going to be enough, though? I'm not quite sure. But he's going to have to do something because Pookie is just coming in and dominating the hybrid. The hybrid has spent so much money repairing his resources here, and here he comes with Banelings again. He has Banelings out in the front, and I don't think he should have done that. I think he should have had them in his Medivac. He's going to lose all of his units here, despite having the better concave. I think with these oracles here, he's just not going to be able to kill that army. It looks like some Vikings coming out for Pookie, as well as this delicious Archon. What is going to happen here? A siege tank coming out for hybrid. That actually might be a really, really good idea. And it looked like Yuki... Was it Yuki or was it... I think it was Pookie. Overextended himself. Meanwhile, there is a drop, and oh no! Bottom right could be in so much trouble. Boom Bap left the game. And bottom right is destroyed. GG, bottom right. Oh man, that was intense. Let's take a look at the scores real quick. Boom Bap was doing okay, but I think his partner was just too far behind. He was constantly getting sniped. It's just not going to be enough. And hybrid will fall. Down they go. It looks like Pookie coming in and cleaning up. And I think these Temple Zealots is a really nice idea. Just to kind of give a little bit of a buffer in between that Archon. Make sure that the Archon's okay, but, you know, Fluffy could come in and snipe it. Fluffy could do it. Yeah, that was intense. And Pookie says, mad, bro? Are you mad? The trash talk. So strong. And guys, so far this has been such an intense game. I'm absolutely loving it. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you're watching this, we might have another game. If so, I gotta be careful. My voice is not happy. But perhaps I'll stream again and my voice will be stronger. Alright, there is going to be a drop coming in from bottom left. Unable to take out that Roach Horn. And a follow-up drop by Sharpflex. I don't think this is going to be enough. In fact, I think Fluffy has superior positioning here. Oh, but meanwhile, the Archon coming in from the right side, that might be enough. And it looks like both teams might be ganging up on top left. This could be good, or it could be bad, and here's why. If they keep hitting top left, it's very possible that top left could get extremely strong. Unless they're successful with their drops. And here comes another drop on that Roach Warren, and oop, that was successful. Now, if both teams keep doing this successfully, then top left is going to be in huge trouble, and here it is, another successful drop. But they could also get a fuck ton of money from this, because the units are so much stronger. We could see another situation where bottom right was getting strong, facing these two teams at once. They just got to be careful. They're losing so many mercenary bases. So as long as their money, their income coming in is higher than the cost of fixing these mercenary bases, they're going to be in a fantastic position. And I think this is actually a smart move for having Sharpflex come in and fight a different front. Meanwhile, it looks like Vince doesn't give two shits. He's just going to go in, and he's feeding top left at this point. He's got to be careful. In fact, both of those engagements were not that great for either one on Team 1. It looks like Team 1 investing in yet another medevac. They got to be careful here. If they lose too many, it could be disastrous. Had to make a small adjustment there. Sorry about that. All right, let's take a look now. See what's going on. There is a nice recall from Pookie there, but somebody lost something. Was it his Archon? No. Oh, okay. Yuki is the one with the Archon, but somebody lost something there. Let's see who lost. Oh, I think it was the Phoenix. And Millionaire pushing Yuki. I think this is actually going to be pretty good for Millionaire. I think he's ahead of Yuki. Let's take a look. No, that's terrible. Top right is doing fantastic. The only person that's ahead of top right now is Sharpflex, and that's not by much. It looks like Team 3 is dominating here. And you know what? I might just call it here. I think Team 3 has this, and here's why. I think as soon as the 1 hour mark hits, I think they're going to be able to hold center with no problem. Especially if these drops by Pookie keep getting successful. Now, that one, unfortunately, was not. But look at this huge army he has back here that he could possibly do it again. And that cybernetics core is so low. I think Pookie has great positioning here. Looking at the vision, he's got 2 towers so far. Team 1 also with excellent vision, which could be bad for Team 3, but
your forces are under attack.
Again, as long as Team 3 keeps defending, like, this is terrible. Like, Vince should not be doing this. Even with this extra drop that's coming in, Vince is just feeding these units, and this is so bad. No. He should not have done that. That was a no-no. Let's just take a look at the points here, and I will show you why. Look at this. Vince is at 11,000 in the meantime. Slowly but surely, Fluffy and Millionaire is going to be going up. And they are. They're still not quite at Team 3's point level, but combined, they are not doing bad at all. And so far, they've retained both mercenary towers. Look at this. This one is so low. But he still has it. He's still producing Lancers. And as long as he keeps his army count up, he's going to be able to feed on both of these teams as they try to push forward and push in. But I think the real trouble here is going to be at this hour mark. It's coming, and it is coming soon. In fact, I think the smart thing would be to just keep your units. I think this is so bad for Sharpflex, especially with only 3 minutes left. He's going to be attacked from behind. He's going to lose everything. This was a terrible play for Sharpflex. No, no, no. Even the drop that tried to come in was unsuccessful. And this is not good. There's only 2 minutes left for sudden death, and he needs to keep his army count up. Luckily, he does have about 700. He's 200 away from having a full supply, so I guess it's not completely bad. But what's interesting here is that he still has basic Marauders. So it looks like he's just investing super heavy on Marines so that he can try to overwhelm his opponents. He's going to need to upgrade those sometime, I assume, after sudden death. And a very successful play from top right, able to take out Millionaire, and Millionaire is in trouble. Top left is now in big trouble because they just don't have an army. Sudden death is coming. There's only 40 seconds remaining pretty soon. There we go. 40 seconds left. I was a little early on the gun there. So with 30 seconds left now, sudden death is on the way, and I think top right knows it. They're getting into position, and as long as they hold that middle position, they're going to be doing great. They should get siege tanks. They already have the heroes. This is going to be so good for Team 3. And look at this. Even keeping the Vikings there to make sure that no drops come in. Whew, here we go. Sudden death, and oh, it looks like they're actually trying to fight top left. This could be really good, or this could be really bad. Uh-oh, the command center is in big trouble, and ooh, down it goes. This is really good for Team 3. Sharpflex is holding the middle here. He does have a few siege tanks. They're not quite in range yet. He does need to move them in range. He's just really afraid of that Archon, and I don't blame him. Let's take a look at the scoreboard real quick. Look at that dominating lead. My gosh. They're at least 3,000 or 4,000 combined ahead of Team 1. And that really makes a difference, especially here in the endgame. So, bottom left doing the smart thing, getting those siege tanks. He does finally upgrade 2 Marauders. But is it too little, too late? And it might be. He could be in big trouble if he can't catch up to top right, and they do have control of the middle, which is even better for Team 3. So this could be it, guys. Team 3 probably has it. And Fluffy just trying to hold on. He had those crawlers. He did try to put them to good use when bottom right didn't have any saviors left. But I don't feel like he was able to utilize them quite as much as he should have, as these teams were very aware and very observant of where those crawlers were at all times. He just didn't have like any significant engagements where he really came out on top. So, unfortunately, those crawlers didn't really pay for themselves. Yep, and now they're just, they're going bye-bye. Team 2 has been defeated. Down, down they go. And now it's just going to be a big war between Team 1 and Team 3, but you know what? I think they're going to be just fine, especially if they lose these siege tanks. What the fuck? Only one siege tank left, and look at this army. Holy cow. That is a huge army. But will it be enough? I just don't know. Team 3 has so many more upgrades, so much more money, that I think Team 1 just doesn't have what it takes. They have the max army. They could try to possibly overpower their current army because they do have a little bit more, but with that Archon here, 11 attack, holy shit. Plus the Phoenix is here. I just don't know, because with the Phoenix there, they could possibly grab this Archon, and that would significantly reduce the army. Especially if he overextends. He did push that Archon out. And what are they going to do? Currently sitting at 2,000 minerals. There are 2 DTs. I think that's fantastic. So they have the DTs. They have the Phoenix. They're trying to counter this Archon as much as possible. Sharpflex with the nice recall. And I don't think there are any heroes out for Pookie. I think the only one with a hero is Yuki. And if that's the case, I think that Team 1 might be able to get a superior position here, because they have the DTs, they have the Phoenix, and they have the army. So it's all going to come down to this fight. This is going to be the biggest, the baddest, the most epicness of fights. Who will win? And here it goes. There is a stim that might have been a little bit early. Vince trying to get in position. Yuki holds. And Yuki doesn't retreat, so he's going to lose those units up top. But look, he's barely doing the damage. Yuki's army is just so strong. And another Dark Archon coming out. Who is that for? That's going to be for Vince. Vince coming out with the hero to try to counter the Archon. And I think the Dark Archon is going to be really interesting. So, what I thought he got those 2 DTs for was to try and Void Prison this army. And I actually think that the double Void would have been a little bit more effective than getting the Archon, especially with the gigantic lead that Team 3 has. They need all the disables they could possibly get. They may be relying too much on the Phoenix. Let's take a look at the scores real quick. Holy shit. Look at Team 3. That is a huge, dominating lead. Vince is so far behind, and oh, nope, here we go. We have a nice fight going on. But Yuki, even with leaving just a few units in the middle, Vince is struggling to kill them. In fact, I think Yuki is making more money just from standing still. That's crazy. Looked like there was a small drop that tried to happen up here. It was unsuccessful. Oh, Sharp trying to hold middle so badly, and he does for now, but that Archon is hungry. And is that Archon going to get it? Ooh! It looks like somebody wasn't paying attention on middle. And down go the units. Let's see, how much longer does this Archon have? It's close, but is it going to be enough? I don't think so. It really depends. There's no attack upgrades on it whatsoever so far. So I just don't know. It does have the range. It's able to pick off a few of those heroes. It did blink. He is trying to pick off those ghosts. I think they were trying to make something happen with the Archon. And here comes Vince from the side, but I think he has bad positioning here. Vince going through the middle does get stormed. And yeah, Yuki just with the superior army. Even the snipe going down. Who did he snipe? No. Oh. Bye-bye, Archon. Hey, Vince. Where'd your Archon go, buddy? 2 ghosts. Damn. So, yep. I think Team 2's got it. Or, I'm sorry, Team 3. Ouch. Yep, that's going to be it. In fact, I think Team 3 smells blood, and they are going in. I don't think Team 1 can stop this. Nope. With no command center, or I'm sorry, with no planetary fortress, this command center will go down very easily. A victory for Team 3. Congratulations, guys. Your winners will be Yuki and Pookie. Very, very nice, guys. That was super enjoyable to watch.